Yes, I am still alive. I want to start out by saying I'm sorry. I apologize to anybody that wanted me to continue through the summer. That is 100% my fault. We got busy, I got lazy, and I made most of a video. I didn't really like how it turned out because there wasn't a whole lot going on because we were just doing some tillage. So I pitched it, and then next thing I knew, it was 2 weeks, and then next thing I knew, it's 2 months. So here we are. I guess let's just catch you guys up on what's kind of new since the last time you seen me. Last time you seen me, if I remember right, we were clear back at planting. Maybe we were doing some cultivating and some ditching probably. I can't remember if that was in the video that I started recording or if that was the last video I had out. I cannot remember, honestly. But we're just going to jump right into it. So, after planting, we did some side dressing, putting down some fertilizer in between the row. That's when corn's about knee high. So then after that, we did some cultivating, of course, in the beans and the beets. Cleaned out some weeds between the rows. And then we did, there's quite a bit of spraying and all this other stuff in between. But we did wheat harvest and barley harvest. This year is the first year in probably 5 or 6 that we've had barley. We tried it again. It wasn't a great crop, but it's been a really, really dry year. Excuse me. And it's been hot and dry, so couldn't keep enough water on that pivot. It's too big. And yeah, now we are into September, as you guys would know if you're watching this video. And we got done with county fair, state fair for all my siblings. Now I'm gonna start back up with videos because we're getting into the really cool harvests, and I just think it's something you guys would want to see. And I should have been recording throughout the summer anyways, so hopefully I'll keep on it this time, and next year you'll be able to see all the stuff that we do. So yeah, now I can explain that we're out here cutting pinto beans. Like I said, the last time you guys seen me, stuff was really young, you could still see the dirt. And now corn is tasseled. It's about time to be chopping some corn, actually. Some guys are chopping corn. And gonna start getting pretty hot and heavy on that for this week, next week. But we don't really get into the chopping corn stuff. We've planted some silage corn for the ranches that we've sold, but we don't have a chopper. We don't really get involved. We just lend out some trucks. So now I'll show you guys our bean cutting tractors. So here we've got my tractor and Dad's tractor. We've got these Pickett 1-pass bean cutters. And then if you guys have noticed in my other videos, I have a front 3-point that I keep permanently on my tractor. That is strictly for this, honestly. I just decided to put a weight bracket on there so I didn't have to take it off. Dad's was the first one that I built, so it's not as pretty as this one. It kind of sticks out there a little more, so we take it off every year. But that's what these 3-points are for. These are actually an old Orthman front 3-point for an older tractor, like a 1086. So we had to redo all of this to mount up to our weight bracket holes. But they work really good, way better than the Pickett dividers, because they have these knives that are cutting. There's 4 rows that they cut. So you got our bean cutters cut 8 rows. So you got 1, 2, 3. It cuts 3 and moves it over. 4, it moves over to the center. 5 to the center. 6 over. And that way our tractor tires aren't running over any beans. And then 6. Oh wait, yeah, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so Dad's does the exact same. So we gotta take these tractors down to singles for this. Makes my tractor look really ugly with these big mud fenders. I don't like these fenders anyways, but that's just how it came. So these are the picket dividers. If you get the setup for picket, you would have one of these dividers right in front of this tire and in front of this tire. And they're really known for catching a pivot track once in a while and folding under. So these knives are way better. But basically how these bean cutters are working is there's 2 square rods, and I just got done cutting, so they're a little dirty right now. But this front rod, let me clean it off here. So this front rod is the one that's doing all the cutting. The second rod is just fluffing them up a little bit, and the surface of the dirt's just about an inch or so above this. But it looks more because it's fluffing up the dirt. But this is basically pulling the beans out by their root. So then these fingers are going to pick up the bean, flip the whole plant up, and then it's going to throw it back on this belt and put it into a windrow. So the nice thing about these bean cutters is if anybody's done hay, you know that you want to rake it the same direction so it's easier to bale. So it's kind of the same way when we're combining these. Mine comes to the right and Dad's windrow's to the left. So if we put both of our 8 rows next to each other, we'll have 16 rows into one windrow just for the combine. So that's pretty handy. And the only reason that they're set up that way, because Dad's is an older one, and it was actually originally set up to be a front mount instead of on the 3-point. But we switched all that back over to the 3-point instead of the front mount. Anyways, long story short, so I'll drive over and show you guys some of these windrows of the beans real quick. Also, you may notice I got dumb this summer and decided I wanted to tint my windows on the tractor. I think it looks pretty nice. I would stay a distance away from it though, because there might be a few air bubbles and whatever in there, but you know, I'm not gonna say nothing. But it sure does make it nice out in the middle of the summer, getting the sun off your back, and makes it a little cooler. So I'll show you some of these windrows real quick. So this morning was our first day cutting beans. So we kind of came out here in the light just to get everything set and make sure everything was going to work properly. But tomorrow we'll be starting pretty early, I think. You want to be able to cut beans with a dew on it. Otherwise it'll rattle the bean pods, and you'll have a risk of popping the bean pod, and then you're losing beans out in the middle of the field, which means less beans in the combine. But these are our windrows. Like I said, we got 16 rows into a windrow. Here's our in pass. Everything in this field is planted into a circle. But yeah, I really enjoy this job every year. I have a lot of fun with it. So this morning you wouldn't have heard this rattle. Hey, you brat. So yeah, that's why I had to quit cutting this morning, is because of the beans were breaking off, or were starting to rattle, so I didn't want to risk them breaking. So these are what we are harvesting here. So what we're doing here is we're just cutting it, and these are going to have to dry down for a few days. Quit. Spoiled brat. These are going to have to dry down for a few days Then we'll come back with the combine. There was probably 6 pods in there, but somebody came and hit my hand. Everyday pinto beans, refried beans, bean burritos, whatever you can think of. Comes right out of these fields. Like I was saying, it's getting too hot, so it's only 9:40, 9:30ish is when I quit. So I'm gonna head out, go check my water. That's the other thing I've been doing is running sprinklers, running flood. We've been doing that for quite a while now. We're actually at about the end of our ditch water. We got some wells we can keep running for the sugar beets. But yeah, so now we're gonna go check our water, make sure our pivots ran through the night. So since I'm here, I figured I might as well show you guys some of my irrigating. I'm sure you can't hardly see it in the picture, but I've got a pivot. I've got 2 full pivots over there. This is kind of the ground that I take care of for water. We've got lots of flood water here. So this is some gated pipe. That's mostly what we run. And you just open it up and run some water down. These are some sugar beets here. You know, it's flood ground, so it's not as good as out in the pivot, but yep, these are some sugar beets. You guys will see that harvest. That'll be coming up next. But yeah, basically you just gotta, I've got probably 20 rows open here. These 2 gated pipes, 2 sections, and I can open up another 15 rows or whatever I can run off of how much water pressure I've got. It's basically the only difference. So yeah, not a whole lot. I'll probably go over and show you guys some corn here in just a second. Well, of course, guys, I lost all my audio on a little bit of this video here, so I'm gonna try and explain. It was a while back when I recorded this, so I'm going to try and explain what I was saying. I think basically I was just saying good morning, you know. I believe it was about 4:30ish that I got out there that morning. We were going in to look at the beans and make sure that we had a dew for the morning, which we did. We had a good dew this morning. The beans weren't rattling at all, which you will see once I get up to the field. Come on, Tristan. There's a windrow. And of course, I'm going to get out and my plan was to rattle the beans, and you could see the difference in the noise from yesterday to this morning. But you can't hear it in this video, but I believe I have some audio later on as I'm cutting it. So you'll be able to hear that noise difference and just how quiet they are when there's a good dew on it. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure what I was all saying, but we'll skip through this part because obviously there is no sound. So yeah. And I was wrong. I still have no audio, which is really sucking up for this first episode, not episode, what am I, a TV series? For this first video back after a few months, it's showing that I do not remember how to do this. I'm not really sure why I thought that it was working, because I'm pretty sure I even did a test video. But whatever, so this is kind of a cool video though of the bean cutter working. You can see exactly what it does and how it works. Getting onto that draper belt, moving into the windrow, and it's dead quiet with all the dew that morning. Oh boy. You can definitely see how dirty my windows are in this video. That's a really good look. Alright, well it's about 7 o'clock and Dad and I are moving tractors to the next field. We got the half circle done. You know, I forgot how unstable these tractors are without duals. They are awful. Especially with this bean cutter on there. It's almost like gauge wheels. It's almost like training wheels on a bike. You know, if it leans too far, the bean cutter will catch it. Makes it a pain to move these, but that's what we got to do. So, but I think this is going to be the end of the video, guys. We're going to cut for a while until we need to go change water and the dew's over, and we'll be done for the day, and we'll keep cutting. But again, I want to apologize for not making videos throughout the summer. That's 100% my fault, but I want to get better, and I want to continue doing this, so it will continue to make videos. I can't guarantee anything, but I do want to, especially with the upcoming harvest coming up. We got sugar beets and corn, which are just a lot of fun. So I will keep you guys up to date. Until next time, thanks for watching.